Now the story is now as Guinea awaits the results of the February the 4th elections. Main opposition leader calls on supporters to mobilize against the outcome. Opposition leader Selou Diallo says his party will reject local election results after protests claimed at least 6 lives since Sunday's vote. Guinea held local elections for the first time in 12 years after delays sparked repeated protests.
Tensions are rising in Guinea between opposition and government supporters as the country awaits results of February 4 local elections. Clashes broke out in several cities after opposition leader of the Union of Democratic Forces of Guinea alleged fraud in the long-delayed vote for mayors and neighborhood chiefs. The violence is linked to opposition fears that President Alpha Condé may seek to change the constitution to seek a third term at elections in 2020.
The youth are very angry, and this time we will not let it go. We will not let our enemies overtake us like they've always done. So this time, Alpha Condé needs to go. He will have to leave because the RPG has not won. The opposition won.
Mr. Diallo says he would reject the election results at a meeting in the capital, Conakry, raising fears of a spike in violence in the divided country.
People of Guinea, you know how attached I am to the notion of peace and unity for our country. I have proved this in the previous elections in 2010 and in 2013 as well as 2015 during the chaos. But my patience has limits, and I cannot go on supporting this electoral masquerade.
The opposition charges that Condé is trying to install loyalists across different levels of government to smooth the path towards a possible constitutional change. Opposition supporters who joined the protest in Conakry said preliminary results showed a win for the ruling RPG party in opposition strongholds like Ratoma, where youths were burning tires and blocked main roads.
Moi-même, j'ai mes jeunes frères que je vis à Afia ici, Afia. Même tu vois leur visage, le photo est là, mais tu ne peux pas les reconnaître. J'ai les cartes électeurs de mes jeunes frères, tu ne peux pas les reconnaître. On les a dit qu'ils ne peuvent pas voter parce qu'on ne peut pas reconnaître leur visage. Tout là, c'est pas bon.
Many Guineans are angry that the country's rich reserves of bauxite used to make aluminium and iron ore have done little to address constant power cuts, sparse jobs, and long public sector salaries.
The Egyptian army has begun a major operation against terrorist organizations in several parts of the country. An army spokesman says it will focus on the Sinai Peninsula as well as the Nile Delta and the Western Desert. The Sinai is the scene of a long-running insurgency by militants linked to the Islamic State group. There have also been frequent attacks elsewhere in the country since the military toppled the Islamic president Mohamed Morsi in 2013. The Ethiopian government has granted pardon to 746 prisoners. On Thursday, the Federal Attorney General's office published a list of the inmates, including one journalist, Eskender Nega, and opposition politician Andualem Arage. The decision follows a raft of reforms announced by the government to try to reduce tension in the Horn of Africa country, which has been hit by unrest since 2011. According to the Attorney General, they were jailed for conspiracy to commit terrorist acts. Nearly 6,000 prisoners have been freed since January. Most were detained for alleged involvement in mass protests that broke out 3 years ago in its Oromia and Amara regions over accusations of land grabbing and political marginalization.